Let's see if anyone tunes in. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Let me see if I'm live. Welcome, everyone. Oh, there's people coming in now. Okay. How's everyone doing this Sunday? You hear me, Pennywise? SRB? Reggie? Rick? How you doing? Do I keep all my cash in the drawer below? Just office supplies in here. I just want to do a quick live stream. Well, I don't know if it's going to be quick or not. I just got back from Orlando. I went to a wedding this weekend. Greatest wedding of my life. I had a blast. I just got back from Orlando, Florida. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. And when I had some downtime, some thoughts came in my head. I jotted them down, so I wanted to share them with you on this live stream today. And Juan Carlos says, "Is it too late for me to stake with you?" Absolutely not. Pools are SCAR and SCAR2, SCAR and SCAR2. So I just wanted to get a gauge of how everyone is doing with staking, how everyone is doing with Daedalus. Wanted to give you an update of how SCAR is doing. And I get a lot of questions, so maybe try to sum it up in this video. I'll probably have to do another shorter video. Steve, how you doing from Manchester? Okay, people are starting to fill in. It's Monday morning for you, Dave? Okay, sounds good, sounds good. Okay, so first order of business, SCAR. I think a few epochs ago we missed blocks completely within that epoch. So we were on an adversarial fork, and we're not on that fork anymore. So we should be on a good path. But the adversarial forking issue is it's still an issue. So basically, what happens is you see two chains, like one chain of Cardano is going, and just think about it as the chain is diverging, and we're on that divergent chain, not by choice, just by the random acts of Jormungandr. So we have a disproportionate amount. Disproportionately, we have an issue with going on these adversarial forks. At the same time, SCAR is going to mint its 2000th block sometime in the next few epochs. Not really sure exactly when, but we are minting blocks. But a couple epochs ago, we did not hit any blocks. So you may see 0 rewards for that block, but we fixed the issue. We are using IOHK builds, so we have upgraded to the latest version of Jormungandr, which is the 0.8.13, I believe. Just have to make sure. My head is a little discombobulated. But we are using official IOHK builds. There are third-party builds out there that you can use for your pool, and they seem to work better than the IOHK builds. They're more efficient. We have not used those builds yet. Our philosophy right now is to just stick with the main IOHK builds. I don't think there's anything wrong with the third-party builds, but we want to make sure that we're using the official products for now. And we think that, or the logic should be that if IOHK releases a build, it should be the most efficient, it should be the fastest, and it should be the most correct version. But that's not the case at the moment. But that is what it is. I'm going to say some cons about what I think about the ITN in this video today. I've had a chance to amalgamate some of my thoughts over the past few weeks, and you can agree with me, you can disagree with me. I'd love to hear your opinion. I'm going to move over to chat before I start my diatribe. Rick says Yoroi Mobile is fantastic. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I have Yoroi Mobile on my phone. I think I had like 20 testnet ADA, but it's very responsive on mobile. So that is always an option for people. You can use Yoroi. You can use Yoroi Mobile if you're having issues with Daedalus. Pennywise staking with Scar 2. Awesome. Reggie says, I just moved to Palm Beach, Florida. I'd love to come and say hi. Words in the Wilderness says, works fine for me. Have not moved my stake for ages. We appreciate every single one of you who is supporting Scar. We really do. We are working nonstop to make sure that our pool is as efficient as possible. We really have some high-level people on our team of 4. We're like a super team, even though our performance is not as great as other pools, but our server has never gone down. It really hasn't. The issues are with the protocol. I don't want to try to deflect or not take responsibility because I am a businessman. And if there's something wrong with the product that we're providing, then I will own up to that. I will make sure that all the onus is on us. But at the end of the day, we are running what we're supposed to be running. We're upgrading when we need to upgrade. We have the equipment. We still go on these diversion forks. The proof is in the pudding. You can look at the IOHK builds, compare them to the third-party builds, look at the hoops that stake pool operators are doing in order to win blocks at this particular point. It just goes to show you that the official product is just not up to par of where it should be, because you should be able to download the official product and it works for you. If we're getting towards that stage of mass adoption, if you want more people to become stake pool operators, the everyday average person that's not in crypto, then make the official build work correctly the first time and then move it forward from there. But we still are in testnet, so we'll just take it with a grain of salt. Just going to go quickly. Linda, hi from Dallas. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Words in the Wilderness. I use the latest Daedalus. Okay. Rick says Daedalus 2.2.0.itn1 is the newest. I have not upgraded to 2.2 yet. Meldon Arma Family says, hello, how are you doing? Words in the Wilderness says, which group still has problems with the latest Daedalus? I've been seeing on a couple forums, and I've gotten a couple private messages that people are still having issues with Daedalus. Please make sure that you do upgrade to the latest version that Rick just posted, which is the Daedalus 2.2.0.itn1. This is another great example of this whole issue with mass adoption. Daedalus is supposed to be the main wallet that IOHK released to store your ADA and ultimately delegate your stake to a staking pool. And at the end of the day, people are still having trouble opening their Daedalus. And this is the point of entry for new people within the Cardano ecosystem. So this tells me that this is still an extreme niche product, because if a regular, everyday, non-crypto user downloaded Daedalus and wanted to access their funds and they couldn't, that's a huge problem. I have never gone to the ATM. You can go to the ATM any hour of any day or at night. You may get robbed at night, but you can still pull that cash out from the ATM. The ATM works regardless. If Daedalus is our ATM for the everyday person, if that's where they can get their ADA and they can't access their ADA, there is an issue. So we need to get to that point. We're still a ways away from that. And I'd like to also recommend that whoever's having issues with maybe we lost some blocks in this epoch, there are lots of other pools you can delegate your stake to, maybe come back to us at another time. I highly recommend Digi. That's Rick's pool. Rick's pool, I'm going to give it to him. He has the best working stake pool in Cardano. The work that he puts into it, he knows what he's doing. So if you have to delegate to another pool, please delegate to Digi. And yeah, that's my endorsement. Let me see. Jeff B says, okay, answering a question. Okay, I'm trying to catch this up. Okay, hold on. My thing is a little bit delayed. Okay, so I'm gonna start. I have a slight rant, okay, about the incentivized testnet. So I talked about the whole official builds versus third-party builds. Find a pool that works for you. We are working nonstop. Our servers have not gone down. We still hit adversarial forks on occasion. We have to reboot, or you have to bootstrap from Genesis, which takes a little bit. So that Genesis block, and make sure you, for like the everyday person, rebooting basically means that you're starting from the beginning of the blockchain and then moving your way up. So it's a lot of information to process. It takes some time. So what are my issues with the incentivized testnet? What do I think about the incentivized testnet? What do I think about Cardano right now? I'm still very long-term Cardano. I think the project has a lot of potential. But at this point, my expectations are a little bit underwhelmed for the incentivized testnet. And I'm just going to be real. I was in Orlando, Florida for a wedding over the weekend. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. And I got some inspiration because in Orlando, Florida, there is a theme park called Disney World. It has 4 different parks associated with it. You're going to see where this example, or this I would say this story is going, if you've ever been to Disney World. So in Disney World, the main park is called Magic Kingdom. And the first time, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. When you go in Magic Kingdom, you walk down Main Street, you take a right, you go through Tomorrowland. You go through this ride called the People Mover, and on the far right-hand side of Magic Kingdom, there's a gigantic dome. And you see that dome in my thumbnail right now. And that is called Space Mountain. Space Mountain is a very cool ride. I think I rode it for the first time when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. Don't know the exact age, but it was between 7 and 10 years old. And when you ride this ride, it's supposed to be this futuristic mountain ride. You get in this spaceship, this small spaceship, and it whizzes you through the roller coaster, high speeds. Well, you think it's high speeds. I mean, you think you're flying up and down, you're going over crevices, you're turning left and right, and it's so much fun. I mean, as you get older, you realize it's not a mega roller coaster, but when you're 7, 8, 9 years old, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. I mean, I rode it a couple times the first time I was in Disney World. And I've been to Disney World a lot. Every time I go to Disney World, I make sure I ride Space Mountain. So a few years ago, I was on YouTube, and you know how the Google algorithms, they pretty much listen to what you say, or I don't know, listen to what you type, see what you type, and then recommend videos for you or recommend certain advertisements for you. So I see an advertisement for a video about the behind the scenes of Space Mountain. So behind the scenes, there's a YouTube video out there. There's probably multiple YouTube videos out there. And it shows you what Space Mountain looks like when the lights are on. So this ride is all in the dark. So it's amazing. But when they turn the lights on and they show you, I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were fixing the ride or making sure it was running correctly, doing their, I don't know, weekly engineering tests to make sure it's safe for all the guests. When the lights are turned on and this roller coaster goes around, it doesn't look impressive at all. It really doesn't. It's a small little wooden roller coaster. It doesn't even have, the drops are not significant whatsoever. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how much the expectation drops from when you ride it in the dark versus when you see it when the lights are turned on. And when the lights go off, they add a lot of effects to it. So they add like the wind. I mean, there's literally wind gushing at your face. You think that it's because you're going at high speeds, but you're not going that fast. You may be going 20, 30 miles per hour, maybe even less. You never even know. I mean, there's just lots of wind gushing everywhere to give you the experience that it's going faster than it is, that the ride is more epic than it actually is. And the reason why I am talking about this ride is because the incentivized testnet, as a stake pool operator, I see it with the lights turned on. I see it with the lights turned on. And the lights turned off, I haven't seen that version yet of how it looks towards the end user. Because I'm not really within Daedalus all the time. I'm really monitoring the pool. We are, I'm not logging into the incentivized testnet on Daedalus all the time. I have in the past. I'm not logging into Yoroi. I mean, I have logged into the Yoroi testnet, but it's not something that I do actively. I'm just monitoring the pool. So I see it with the lights on. And it doesn't look that impressive. It does not look that impressive. And maybe that's just timing. Maybe there are new features that need to be added that will give me this illusion or give me the comfort that it's going to be working like the Space Mountain that I'm used to, or like the Space Mountain that I'm expecting. But right now, I just don't see it. And, maybe it's not possible with this version of the ITN, meaning it written in Rust. Maybe we have to wait until the Haskell version to truly get that Space Mountain type feeling. Cardano is a very ambitious project. Since the beginning, we've been promised a high level, high assurance code. So when I look at the project, I'm expecting to be just completely blown away. So it's hard for me to visualize the intermediary steps to get to the end goal. But at the same time, it's just not as, it's impressive. It's not revolutionary in my eyes. And I want it to become revolutionary. That's how passionate I am about the project, because it really, I'm emotionally invested in the project, not so much as the actual dollar, day by day, dollar by dollar investing, but emotionally attached, meaning that I want the project to hit its goals, hit its milestones. I am just ranting right now, but moving forward, like when I look at the incentivized testnet, we've run 0.8.13 for Jormungandr. When you look at the patch updates, and I know there's not a product that you can compare Cardano to at this particular time, but if you compare it to patch updates for video games, when you look at, I used to play a lot of Elder Scrolls when I was younger, used to play a lot of Halo 2. When you look at the official patch updates, whether it be from Bungie or Bethesda, you see a significant patch update list every time they release a patch. So they fix issues with quests, they fix issues with NPCs, they fix lag issues, they fix glitch issues, they fix a lot of issues at any particular patch point or any particular patch in a given series. When you look at the Jormungandr, there may be a lot of code behind it, but I just see the recent releases. You can check on the GitHub. It's just a few lines of what they're editing. So, they may release a patch and then they may release another patch that says they fixed the REST API or something like that. And when you look at that, it gives me the illusion that, or it gives me the impression that IOHK is satisfied with the product that they have in hand. They've made a majority of the changes that they've wanted to make, because each patch does not significantly show a change log that is proportionate to the number of problems within the incentivized testnet. Because since I still ran into an adversarial fork, that problem has not been fixed. And we've been running into that issue since day one. So that problem, I don't think that's a concern for the IOHK team. I think it's more spotting major problems and fixing those. And then maybe, I don't know, when we reach that Haskell version, we'll be able to implement some of the changes that may fix other protocol issues, or maybe they won't be get fixed. So I'm not 100% sure, because every single change log that I see, it's not full. It's more like I fixed this issue, but there are still a majority of other issues. And when I compare it to patches, when you look at video games, it's usually like a long list within the change log. So yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I'm going to go to chat real quick, because I've just been talking for a really long period of time. Let's see. Sandeep says mainnet. I have no idea. Jeff B says Daylist is working fine for me, but when ATMs first came out, they were not as reliable as they are now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true. Dave says, I see where this is going. Okay, I think I'm behind in the chat. Dave says you're taking us all to Disneyland. Uncle Chop Chop says, hello. For me, the testnet started good, but now struggle city. Let's see. Rick says, my Twitter ads have always weight loss products and tacos and Apple products. Rob G says, do we need ADA to go on Coinbase for it to moon? I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting, we do need it added to Coinbase. It's so hard to, this is going to get me to my second point that I wanted to make before I finish this video, because we do need Coinbase, because it is so hard to exit from Cardano to regular USD. I'm talking to Americans right now because I'm speaking as an American. So if you're from a different country and it's easier for you to move your money out of an exchange, then I don't know about that. But as an American, we have a lot of stringent rules that prevent us from doing lots of different things on exchanges, and the SEC is cracking down. So you always want to watch what you're doing. So we do need to be added to Coinbase, because right now, say we were on mainnet. Let's give a hypothetical, and we would be having issues with dataless. So you have your ADA, you have your testnet ADA, or you would have your mainnet ADA, and you're getting your rewards. It's loading up in your dataless account, and you can't even log into dataless. So there's one issue of actually getting your money out. So you can't even get your money out when you need to get it out. Say that you are one of the lucky ones, the lucky few that may be able to take their money out. Then you send it to an exchange. You'd have to send it to Binance or Bittrex, then trade it for Bitcoin, taxable event, send that Bitcoin to Coinbase, taxable event, Bitcoin, sell it, USD, wait 3 to 5 business days, ACH transfer to your bank, pay some kind of fee because the balance is not high enough. Lots of money lost in the intermediary. So we do need some sort of bridge. Get ADA to Coinbase immediately so you can send it maybe straight from your dataless wallet to Coinbase and sell, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. But it's very difficult to take your money out, even on Coinbase, because when you sell, especially if you're selling large amounts, you're going to have to wait a grace period in order to access your funds, or for them to even send the ACH over to your bank. So yeah, there's an issue with that. So we definitely do need Coinbase in the future. And also, I was also talking about impressive versus revolutionary. And this project has a potential to become revolutionary. However, right now I feel like it's just teetering that impressive line. And I think it has a ways to go before it becomes revolutionary. Personally, I may offend some people here, but I think Bitcoin is impressive, but I don't think it's revolutionary. The reason why I say that is because it really has no usability. It has no practicality. It has a tremendous environmental impact. You really can't use it for much other than trying to get rich. And there's a lot of people that got rich off of Bitcoin, and kudos to you. But it doesn't mean that you can still use the product. It's still a useless product. All you can do, wait long confirmation times, buy an ASIC miner, and send money slower than you can send money via PayPal. I think PayPal is revolutionary. I think Bitcoin is impressive. And people may say, oh, but PayPal is centralized, but I still think it's revolutionary in the way that you can send money to people in a quick period of time without having to worry about anything. There's a lot of people in crypto Twitter that forget what the masses go through. I printed out a statistic that says that the median amount of savings for a US household. So median is that middle number. So there's a bottom half and a top half. So there are over 300 million Americans. So right in that middle. So the median savings, or the median bank account balance for Americans, is $4,500. And, crypto Twitter is all about, buy Bitcoin and eventually your savings will moon at some point. But you have to think that if 50% of people have $4,500 or less in their bank account, you have maybe obligations, you may have kids, you may have child services, you may have car payments, home payments, you have food, medical bills, all these unexpected life payments, you may have a family to support. You don't have the expendable income to throw a whole bunch of money in Bitcoin. And at the end of the day, at the point we are right now, let's say you throw in, if you have $4,500 and you throw in $500 into Bitcoin, and it 10x's in, 3-4 years. Congratulations, you have $5,000 right now. Still doesn't bring you out of that clump that you're in. So the dreams that are sold to people about Bitcoin, it's just, I don't know. That's why I think it's impressive, but it's not revolutionary. Cardano, on the other hand, it's impressive, but it has the potential to become revolutionary because it has the potential to have function or the potential to have usability. At the end of the day, people are using the incentivized testnet. People will be staking with Cardano in the future. How viable that will be, that's the question. That's the $1 million question right now, because right now I don't think Cardano is not useful. It doesn't have usability. I don't see it in the future. So if there's a bull run right now that happens and Cardano goes to the moon, it's just a whole bunch of speculators that are betting on Cardano to go to the moon, but doesn't mean that the product is doing anything more than it was supposed to do a couple months ago. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of ranting. I'm a little bit exhausted. I'm not gonna lie. I've been up like all weekend. But let me get back to the. Let me get back to the chat. For all those new people in, I just want to apologize. I just came back from Orlando. That's why you see the thumbnail of Space Mountain. I went into a whole diatribe about Space Mountain and how it relates to Cardano. I went to a wedding this weekend. I had time of my life. It was the best wedding I've ever been to. So let's see. Words in the Wilderness says, I think that the ITN testing the social dynamics, will they do a Haskell ITN? I don't know. That's another thing. If we're having issues with Rust right now, it would be, I think it would be foolish to think that we're not going to have issues with Haskell. Like, why would we not have issues? We've had a lot of issues with Rust, so we're going to have a lot of issues with Haskell. It's going to be a process. But me, as a non-coder, as a non-developer, I was under the assumption that this high assurance code was going to be just 100% out the gate, or maybe 95% out the gate. But I think it's going to need to take years or maybe months to actually get to that point where it's like, this thing is robust. Richard says, ADA needs to finish its development first. Let's get smart contracts and worry about price later. Yeah, we need smart contracts for sure. Philly Max says, how to connect to testnet Daedalus Yoroi. You're going to have to download the latest version of Daedalus, or you're going to have to just go to the Yoroi testnet icon and go to the Yoroi testnet website, and you can use it on Yoroi mobile and you can use it on the Yoroi web wallet. I have not used it in a while. Follow the official Emergo links, follow the official IOHK links. I mean, I did just the other day log into the Yoroi mobile testnet, but everything besides that, I have not been able to do it. Cardano MMA says, never moon till major use case apps and a large portion of coins taken away from manipulating Binance. Perhaps, yes, perhaps. So, I mean, if something mooned right now, all fake, because there's no utility. So there's just some whales that are pumping in right now, but it's not, even though there's been a lot of code written since 2017, I have not seen a lot of usability since 2017. So I'm not sure what has been going on. And it's 2020 right now. I don't see the end user doesn't see the improvement. The developers may see the improvement and they may hash out or lash out on the end user. But at the end of the day, the end user is what created that 2017 bull run when that manic happened. So we have to be conscious of both sides. Big Pay says, what process did you go through to become a Cardano ambassador? I have a YouTube channel and make videos as well and have been here since the beginning. Did they just contact you? I didn't go through any process. I mean, I've been making videos for a very long time, and I've been involved with Cardano for a very long time. And I believe at the beginning there was like a nomination process. So someone nominated me, and I didn't go through any process. There was no process. I didn't know about the ambassador program until significant time after I started my YouTube channel and kind of just merged. But you can contact the Cardano Foundation officials. Find them on Telegram. They're all over the place, and you can strike up a personal conversation with them. They're very accessible. Marcus says the Alphabet Boys got suits and cases. That's correct. That is correct. Wade Wilson says, what is your favorite ITN wallet between Yoroi plugin, Yoroi mobile, and Daedalus? Well, I mean, Yoroi works better than dataless at this point, just because you can actually get into Yoroi more often. I haven't been able to get into dataless. And then the most recent thing I've done is the Yoroi mobile. But yeah, so I would probably go with Yoroi mobile. Ivan says, like I said, just open up a Yoroi wallet and transfer the ADA there. Problem solved. Yes, problem solved for you, which is good. And that's what everyone needs to do. But the greater problem is that there are still issues with Jormungandr that is freezing up wallets. And it happens sometimes within Yoroi as well. So the problem is solved about working your way around, but we need to make sure that the products that we are putting front facing to the end user are working in the intended fashion. Dataless 2.2.0 is working great for me. Or Alan, Words in the Wilderness says, I am not excited about BTC. Okay. Words in the Wilderness, I will take a chance on ADA above all else. Let's see. Hold on. I just lost. Richard said, support the testnet, give feedback to IOHK. Correct. And just to give you a reference point of what I think impressive is versus revolutionary. First of all, I think Amazon is a revolutionary company in the way they've revolutionized e-commerce and their ability to just create the ultimate logistical machine. If you've ever been to like an Amazon fulfillment center, I took a tour in Tennessee, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, I know Amazon has its issues with worker exploitation and issues with that, but the grand scale of their logistical network and their shipping capabilities and the way that they can move items that are completely uncorrelated into random bins in random spaces in the warehouse, and random machines can grab those items and fulfill them to you in 2 days or sometimes even 1 day. It's incredible. Like even like the stamping machine to stamp labels. I was just flabbergasted at how big and impressive it was. But Amazon wasn't the first e-commerce company. There was a company that came slightly before Amazon that was called Boston Computer Exchange. And this was back in the early internet days. And they were like one of the first e-commerce companies. And their business model was probably more analogous to eBay, but they were a portal where people could buy, sell, and trade computers. The seller would ship that item, ship the computer part, or ship the computer to the end user. But I don't know, their item selection and their model of how the platform that they provided was not sustainable, and they did not make it. So impressive, you know, Boston Computer Exchange can also be considered impressive, but it wasn't revolutionary. Amazon would be considered revolutionary in my eyes. So Bitcoin is just impressive because it has no utility. No one really uses it for anything that's significant. Like I've never seen, you know, I've never been with my friends and said like, oh, you know, I'll pay you in Bitcoin right now. Like, okay, let me wait 10 minutes and wait for that. No, I'd rather give cash. I'm talking about the everyday person. They transact in cash, they transact with their credit cards, and they use PayPal, they use Venmo, they use Zelle, things that have no cost, and they send it to you for free. And the free transactions, and it's immediately there. It is immediately there. And Bitcoin cannot compete. And I don't think you'll ever be able to compete with the likes of PayPal, Zelle, and all the other payment platforms. Just my opinion. R. Allen says it's a test net. This is a test. I repeat, it's only a test. Yes. It is a test. It's only a test. But, you know, we at some point, I can speak about it because I want to give my opinions of what's going on. And I think time is of the essence. This project was released in 2017. It's 2020 now. And, we've been on the incentivized testnet for a few months, which is great. But the incentivized testnet was supposed to be released a lot earlier. I just want this project to move as quick as possible because I know that other projects are moving, and there's something called the first market mover advantage, and things are moving, things are progressing forward. So it's like we can say it's a testnet, but we don't want to fall back on that all the time, especially when we tout ourselves as that next generation, third generation cryptocurrency. We want to make sure that we're on point and we're providing the solutions that we need to provide. And shout out to all the engineers and everyone that's coding for Daedalus and the ITN and Jormungandr, because I know they're going through a lot, and I know they're pumping out the code in ridiculous time spurts. So kudos to them because they are working hard. I'm not railing on anything of that nature. Hold on, let me see what's going on. Hold on. Bruce City says, was that wedding anything like the movie Hangover? No. It wasn't anything like the movie Hangover, but there was a lot of dancing, and it was just eventful, super eventful. Let's see. Richard Baki says, current test is more to do with how this would work with independent nodes and random staking and shifting stake from node to node or pool to pool. Yes, correct. Hash Beats Cash says Yoroi Mobile allows for multiple wallets if you're delegating to more than one pool. Yes. Awesome. Trade Feed says, are we going to have a global depression where ADA is the currency of choice? I think a global depression or a recession is probably right around the corner. I don't think ADA is going to be the currency of choice. Richard Baki says, it's working. You cannot see the results in a controlled atmosphere. The testnet is 100% successful. So 100% successful is that's perfect. So if it's perfect, I'm not 100% sure why our pool has downloaded all the latest versions of Jormungandr and we still hit adversarial forks. So I wouldn't say 100%, but and some people can't access their Daedalus wallets. So I wouldn't say 100% successful. I mean, if you mean like it's actually launched and people are producing blocks, then okay, it's successful, but 100% are strong words. Big Pay says, thank you for your information. Keep up the good work. I've been watching you for a while. Appreciate that. I appreciate you. Words in the Wilderness says, if they can get traction in developing countries, we have smart contracts, staking becomes useful for everyday people, and we have treasuries, then we are talking. Yeah. There's a lot of steps there, though. There are a lot of steps there because getting traction in developing countries is easier said than done. That's going to take a long time. Smart contracts, they haven't been released yet. And staking is still not useful for everyday people. And treasuries is coming. That's why I said that this project is impressive, but not revolutionary at this point. We need to get to that point. Richard Baki says, Daedalus is way better. Run Daedalus as admin. May need to do it 2 or 3 times, but works fine. 2.2.0, which is great. I've been using Daedalus since the beginning, like mainnet Daedalus, not testnet Daedalus. I like the Daedalus wallet, but at the end of the day, we shouldn't have end users having to run as admin in order to get access to their testnet ADA, because a lot of people, we have to be cognizant that people are coming from various different computer levels or computing levels. Some people don't feel comfortable running things as admin or deleting files from system log or making sure that they're refreshing this, refreshing that. Some people need that one-click access. And I agree that it should be a one-click access, especially if we're trying to get towards mass adoption. Rob G says, does revolutionary mean that future price will be more than $1? I mean, if Cardano becomes revolutionary, that price will be more than $1. But I don't see it at this point. I see it as an impressive project, not a revolutionary project. Crypto Light, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Words in the wilderness. I suspect the Rust ITN will never be perfect. It will be left incomplete. How can we confirm this? I agree. I agree that I don't think that the Rust will be perfected. I don't think it will be perfected. When I tell you, I see what I see and I see it well. I know that, IOHK, their mantra at the beginning was, I do what I do and I do it well. Well, that's the mantra I assigned to them. But at this point, for the Rust testnet, I feel like they have boxed it into a certain set of issues that they want to fix. They fix those issues, and then the rest of it, it's kind of on the side. And you can just look at the change log for each Jormungandr. Each version of Jormungandr, you see the change log. Sometimes it's only a few lines that are being changed within the change log. Not those that may translate to a lot more lines of code. It may translate to hundreds or thousands of lines of code, but issues that have been voiced previously are not being addressed within that change log. And when you look at patches for video games, you see that it's a lot more complete. And I don't see that completeness in the change log of what I wanted to see. And this is coming from a non-developer, non-coder. I'm looking at this from an end user perspective. Crypto Light says crypto is going into the bear market due to the recession. However, I think Cardano is undervalued and it might pull up the market temporarily. Yeah, I mean, if we do go into a recession, it may not be good for crypto. Funniest story. I actually can pull it up on my. Well, I'm not going to share my screen right now, but when I was in the stock market, I used Merrill Edge, and like the CEO sent an email last week when news of the coronavirus was just starting to ramp up within the media. And he was saying something to the lines that, there's like no threat of a recession. Don't worry about it. Now's the time to invest. Like the stock market always recovers. It's kind of that sort of email. And a few days later, it got even worse because the Dow dropped like 1,000 points, I think like 800 points and 1,000 points, something like that. And then you get another email, but it wasn't from the CEO of Merrill Edge. It was from another official of Merrill Edge saying that, these things happen, these like flash crashes happen. Now's the time to buy. Like they're really pushing people to buy, but there's a strong likelihood that, the Dow is probably in the correcting phase and it's going to continue going down. Yes, and the S&P 500 is probably going to go down, and the way they try to prop it up is strange. It's strange. It's also strange because people are losing a ton of money. Although you see like 4 to 5% loss for the entire market, individual stocks are going down like 10, 15%, some of them, which is massive. And they tell you that stocks are the safe asset, but I guess you can lose your money in stocks and you can lose your money in crypto. You just lose your money everywhere. But yeah, I mean, if the stock market crashes, probably not going to look good for crypto, solely because crypto still has absolutely no utility. Like, I just don't see a lot of utility whatsoever. Wade Wilson, PayPal is quick. PayPal is quick. Yep. I like PayPal. K9 Top Team, I like Turtles. Turquoise Olive, I don't need financial advice, but I do need to echo your enthusiasm for Cardano. I'm a longtime fan of the project, but I'm starting to lose hope. Lots of negative press about Charles Hoskinson and IOHK. Well, there's always negative press. There's always positive press and negative press. Press is press at the end of the day. As if they're talking about you, I think you're probably pushing the ball forward. I think IOHK is doing a lot of work. I think that the employees at IOHK are doing a lot of work. I think that they're really trying. I mean, you just look at the code logs, you look at the number of commits in GitHub. I think the issue with Cardano is that expectations are so high that they have to knock it out the park every time. So they can never come out with the ITN. Like personally, me, I would have preferred that the testnet was just completely delayed and then they just came out with the Haskell version. Like, maybe in a few months. But the expectations were so high, the pressure was so high that the ITN had to be released. And, we were in this issue now. But I prefer patience and long-term strategizing, and then releasing a more complete product with less bugs and less issues. But once again, there's probably a better business model behind this, and there's a grand scheme of thinking. So hash beats cash says, I disagree. I think Bitcoin is revolutionary, many reasons. Well, do explain those reasons. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Goodness, I have just a lot of... Okay, hold on. I've got to... I need some mods. This is ridiculous. I am getting just destroyed. Okay, how do I do this? Hide user. Okay. One second. Mr. C said, Mr. T, sorry about that. I have... Goodness. Okay, I'm getting destroyed. This is terrible. Hold on one second. This is terrible. People are just soliciting sex on my channel. This is not what this channel is about. Oh my, this is terrible. I need some mods. Oh my goodness. Okay. I can't even remove this. Jeff, I'm trying to remove the bots. I don't have any mods on this channel, so... Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. Okay, that message deleted. Remove this. Okay, I can't even read the comments anymore. This is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Jeff, there's a lot of bots in here. I can't even read I don't have any moderators. Okay. Okay, Mr. T said something about... Okay, hold on. Let me try to... Okay. This is terrible. Okay. Okay, so I think I might have to just end this live stream. I need to get some moderators. Hide user on this channel. Okay. Oh, I just got botted out. Okay. Yeah, Mr. T, I think Mr. T said something about being in Orlando this week, and it was a beautiful weekend. Yeah, it was kind of cold. It was cold. The weather dropped, but yeah, it was nice. It was very congested too. Traffic was just ridiculous. Porkerin says, stop the press because your breath ain't fresh. Envio says, are you still 100% bullish on Cardano? Yes, I still think it's a top 10 project, and I think that it has a lot of potential to grow. So, if we have a bull run tomorrow, I think that Cardano will appreciate, because it's doing more than 99% of the projects out there. There's only a small percentage that are the elite projects, and I do think it's a top 10 project. Where on that list, I'm not 100% sure. Big Pay says, what responsibilities come from being a Cardano ambassador? I do not know. I do not know. I don't have any responsibilities. I just kind of do my own thing on my own channel. That's all I always have. That's always what I've done. I don't really report to any person about what I'm doing. So yeah, maybe other ambassadors have different experiences, but I don't have any responsibilities. And at this point, it's an unpaid position. So like, I just was nominated as a status. So I like Cardano. So it's completely unrelated to my ambassadorship. Crypto Light says there's a factor in crypto may pump in recession. It's called greed. Humans all want to do nothing and make money. Perhaps. Omnipotent Being says the responsibility for a Cardano ambassador is to shill for Cardano as much as possible. Okay. My thing is just frozen. This is the worst. This is the worst. Okay, I'm gonna stop this live stream, everyone, because this is I just have too many comments. I can't even. Okay, Rick, can I make you a moderator, Rick? Can you just remove these comments? Okay, I just put Rick as a moderator. I just need to delete these comments. It's just so hard to read. It's just okay. Let's see. How did the bots get on my channel? Okay, yeah. Okay. Thanks, Rick. Thank you. I'm just getting overwhelmed. Yeah, so let's see. Okay. There is nothing wrong with the Daedalus ITN wallet. It connects fine, and there was a 2-week period where it popped it out, but it has been fixed now. I don't know why everyone is having trouble. Redman, that is wonderful. I'm glad that Daedalus is working for you, but that is confirmation bias because there are lots of people with issues with Daedalus. It's not, just because it's working for you, it's got to work for everyone. We have to try to stay away from that mentality in crypto because we're trying to get everyday people involved with crypto. We're saying that it's a asset to hedge your money against or hedge your money into and make sure that, you are as diversified as possible. And it may or may not provide greater returns than traditional fiat investing. And that being said, if you don't get this, there's something wrong with you. No, there could be an issue with Daedalus. There could be an issue with Jormungandr. There could be an issue with Yoroi, and there could be an issue with Yoroi Mobile. It's not going to affect 100% of the users, but if it works for you, doesn't mean it works for everyone. And when there's a good portion of people that are saying it's not working, chances are that there's an issue with it. It's not like a vocal minority. At this point, there's a lot more than the minority that have been affected. And you can just look at the number of support tickets and verify that. So there are a lot of people submitting support tickets, and a lot of people don't even submit support tickets because they don't even want to be bothered. Think about how many people contact customer service or customer support. They just, when it's ready, when they say, oh, I'll come back to it later when the problem's fixed and then fix my issue. But there are people reporting. Andrew Todd says, usually when you fix a bug, you create more bugs. This might not matter too much on a video game, but it matters when you're trying to create a financial system. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I see validity in that, but maybe the main release should be a little bit more robust. So all of these protocol level issues don't have to be solved before it's released. And I don't know, Andrew. Some of these video games are pretty impressive. I'm not even gonna lie. So some of these video games took a lot of development. So, but I'm not comparing the two. But this is what I'm trying to make some analogies or create some analogies. Let's see. Okay. Damon in the Sea, appreciate your earnestness and the concerns, as I believe a lot of people are feeling antsy right now. Cardano has always been high aspiration when product releases fail to meet expectations. It is disappointing. In my view, the more this project is opened up to the community, the better. I'm running a pool and it's doing well due to a customized version of Jormungandr released by a community member. I'm also using a management tool released by a different community member. There are a lot of people, talented people on the sidelines who will help move this project into the revolutionary category. Well, I'm glad everything is going well for you. Glad you're running a pool and glad that the third-party builds are working for you. And yeah, I guess that's the move forward to get help from the community to help build out this revolutionary project. I thought it was going to be revolutionary out the gate, like from the developers themselves releasing the product, but my goals, my aspirations have had to shift over time. Hash Beats Cash says there is a problem with the new version with new release with my MacBook because it's an older version. Okay. Cody Payne says dayless ITN does not work. I'm not trying to be rude. It simply never worked. Cody, a lot of people are in the same boat as you, so I do agree that there needs to be some issues. There needs to be some issues that are resolved within dayless or within Jormungandr itself, so it can communicate better with dayless ITN. Big Pay says we need to do a Haskell testnet. I think it was a very bad idea to assume the code is going to be flawless. I agree with you. I don't think the Haskell code is going to be flawless. I think that there's going to be issues. For us to think that we had all these issues with ITN and then we're going to just go into flawless Haskell, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You know, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's try to separate like just complete moon optimism with just reality. You know, if 1 + 2 = 3, you know, you just 3 + 4 = 7. You know, it's going to follow a sequential order. And it's not going to make sense that one part is just completely bug ridden and the other part is bug free. Then why not just release the bug free version? Let's see. Let me see. Bruce City says, thank you about seeking to bring in less tech knowledgeable people like me. I need simple tech at the user end. Oh, no problem. Bruce City, I always look forward to your comments. Big Pay says, I would rather wait and go through another testnet and deal with buggy mainnet than deal with buggy mainnet. That would be very bad for the image of Cardano. Yeah, Haskell testnet, I think I would be on board with that. I would be on board with that. Tom Aker says, you don't see shit. You're blind. I don't know. I got these glasses at Warby Parker, and the lenses are very thick. I got a new eye exam and everything. So, I mean, I know if I take the glasses off, I can't see. But with the glasses on, I can see. I see what I see, and I see it well. Typical Hog says, the scary thing is when you're trying to debug and find more unrelated bugs you didn't even know existed. Yes. Okay, these emojis are scaring me. Willy Wonka says, long-term hodler, buy the dip and don't panic. Tom Akers says, XRP is the new standard. James Hansen says, I still can't see any staking pools in the testnet wallet. There are some fixes for that. There are a couple videos. Rick released a video on his channel. Make sure you also downloaded the latest version of Daedalus if you're using Daedalus, and make sure you do that. XRP, okay. Wealth distribution is so extremely centralized. Falcon Eye Vision says, hi, Phil, I really understand your position and your way to be able to say things as they are. You are so invested in the project that you would like this project to get forward, right? Yes, I want the project. I'm passionate about the project. I'm trying to move this project forward in the best way I can. And this is my experience with the testnet. This is my experience with Cardano. I'm just sharing with you some honest, unfiltered thoughts about everything. That's why, yeah, I gave that analogy at the beginning of this video. Andrew Todd says, as frustrating as it may be for you personally, we are still in the alpha and you shouldn't judge the product until it's complete. It's like getting upset with the baker about a cake he hasn't baked yet. That's the thing, Andrew. I'm not really upset. I'm more Yeah, I'm frustrated. That's the word that I would agree. I'm not upset. And alpha, we've been waiting for this alpha product. I wish the alpha product was just a little bit more complete. That's all I'm saying. Big Pay says, also to the person saying the testnet is 100% successful, that is the opposite of true. The testnet still has a lot of problems for many people. Even with the latest Jormungandr, my pool still has issues. Rob G says, will ADA ever be involved with DeFi? We had Nicolas Arqueros on the Cardano effect, and we were talking all about DeFi. And he is pushing for DeFi with Cardano, and he thinks that this would be a great solution for Cardano. It would provide great exposure and also great businesses to come and generate some liquidity within the Cardano ecosystem. I think it would be a great use case. I would be excited about that. Tom Akers says it actually has utility now. Okay. Wade Wilson says, good thing we have a Cardano ITN because look what happened to IOTA. It's been turned off for 2 weeks. Yeah. someone turned off the lights at IOTA. So yeah, that's crazy. FCV have you figured out 1% Pool's secret sauce? No, I have not. Great marketing, some whale investors behind them, and just, I don't know, go for the absolute bottom, It's the Walmart method. Cash beats cash. Good to hear you're being real. Yeah, that's all it's about. We're all in here to make some money. Let's be real with each other. We're all in here to make some money. I could care less what's going on in crypto Twitter. I could care less what's going on in crypto YouTube, crypto this, because that's not where the big money is. That's little fish in this pond. Well, when the big whales come, not the old Bitcoin rich whales that were Bitcoin rich because they invested in 2011, but when the serious companies come, when the serious institutions, when the serious small, medium, and large enterprises come, that's who we want on our side. And we need to make sure that the product is as successful as possible or as robust as possible to even give ourselves a fighting opportunity to solicit that business. That's what it's about. Who cares about all the diatribe, all the noise that's happening elsewhere about this product's going to fail, this product's not going to is going to succeed? That's small money. We're talking about the big money that's going to create businesses. What's going to be the Amazon built on Cardano? What's going to be the Amazon built on Ethereum? What's going to be the Amazon built on X project, Y project, Z project? I'm just using any project at this point. Mr. T says, I've had issues with Daedalus big time. It works now, and I still want to switch to Yoroi. Oh, Tom Akers says he's blinded. Send me some additional glasses, man. Send me some additional glasses. Big Pay says we're all on the same page here. Even if they do testing and have no issues, it needs to be tested at scale. Waiting is not an issue. Yes, agree. Words in the Wilderness says, I am suspicious about complaints about the wallet. I could be wrong, but I don't blame the ITN straight away. Yeah, there are some issues with the ITN though. So it's not, there are issues with Jormungandr, and you can look at the issues that stake pool operators have, because we're not running Daedalus to run our stake pool. So there are issues with the ITN. Ronald Anthony says you can always vote with your feet. Okay. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Vet Bro says it's okay to hold multiple coins, guys. Yeah, I agree with you. John says, good to hear from you again. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Big Pay says, have you heard anything about them lowering the saturation point for stake pools? Charles mentioned he was lowering it to 0.5%, but hasn't mentioned it once again. Do you mean, the stake saturation point? Sorry about that. I had to read that twice. I haven't listened to Charles's recent videos. I was in Orlando this weekend. I missed that live stream. I missed his recent talk, so I have to catch up. So I'm not 100% sure, to tell you the truth. Jared says, hoping ADA will dominate the DApp space by the end of 2021. Yeah, this is going to take a while. This is 2020 right now. You know, dApps, I mean, if smart contracts come out 1 quarter after Shelly mainnet release, and let's say Shelly mainnet release comes out, I don't know, Q3, then we're looking at smart contracts in Q4. And are any companies going to really be building serious dApps in Q4, maybe towards the end of Q4 when the holiday season comes? Probably going to have to rotate that cycle again and head into 2021. And we may not even get the smart contracts in 2020 because that Q4, like what happened last year, a lot of people go on holidays and productivity significantly declines towards the end of the year. Andrew says the incremental updates make sense from a programming point of view. I agree with your reply to an extent, but IOHK needs the user data at each incremental stage to make sure no new bugs are made. Fair point. Fair point. Wade Wilson says the whales are on Wall Street. Correct. Tom Akers says this. My second biggest holding is ADA, but you got to be honest. Okay, I'm not. Oh, you're probably talking to someone else. Arjan DeVries says it's been a long ride, 10 years older from 2017. To believe in something is everything. Hard times. Yeah, it's going to be a long ride. Let me see. Falcon Eye Vision says, would it be a good idea to allow people that did not have the chance to participate in the incentivized testnet to organize a new screenshot? Tons of new people would stake and it would help. No, I think there are a lot of issues with the testnet right now. I think it's at maximum capacity. More people are just going to have more and more and more issues. You're going to see the logs go up and everything is just going to be discombobulated. I think they need to fix the problems now at a smaller scale and then scale up, especially when we have had issues with Daedalus, with Yoroi, and with Jormungandr. Willman says the W3C's mission to standardize web payments. Okay, I think there's a separate conversation about XRP in this chat. David Gelfield says, David Gelfan says, was able to sync only once and got 1% of my coin stake with you. Unable to sync since. Well, appreciate your support, David. I really do. You've been unable to sync since. Have you downloaded the latest version of Daedalus? David says, still have 99% of my coins remaining unstaked. Yeah, you're going to have to either open up a log, transfer it over maybe to Yoroi, or open up a log, make sure that you have version 2.2 installed, and maybe open up a support ticket. Words in the Wilderness says, I'm more looking forward to a mass of medium, small, and tiny third world businesses to get involved more than I am looking forward to mega businesses getting involved. Okay. Mr. T says, when switching to Yoroi, do you transfer the testnet wallet from Daedalus? Yes, you enter your seed phrase. So everything is done with your seed phrase. So the seed phrase that you have for your testnet wallet in Daedalus, you can go ahead and restore that in Yoroi, and then your balance will show up in Yoroi. And since Yoroi is more of a lighter client, and depending if their servers are up or not, you'll be able to probably access the entire testnet protocol with greater efficiency on Yoroi at this point of time. Wade Wilson says, developers will build smart contracts on Cardano because developers love to develop, and Cardano was done right. You watch, the devs will show up big time for Plutus and Marlow. It's going to be exciting to see what these devs actually build. OTT2Own says, use Yoroi instead of Daedalus. Testnet wallet for now, guys. It loads every single time in seconds. You can use both at the same time anyway. David, it's not 3.0.1. It should be 2.0.2. 2.0.2, I believe. Oh, 2.2.0, I believe. 2.2.0. Yes. Go on the official Daedalus wallet website and you'll be able to download it. So 3.0.1 is not the correct. Code KOUTSA said 2.2.0-ITN1 number 3.1.0. So make sure that's the latest model. Go ahead and go to the official website. You can go ahead and click the official link, maybe from the Twitter of IOHK, and take it from there. James Ball, I'm averaging 20 ADA per day through SCAR. Thanks for your support, James. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We really do. We really do. Andrew Todd says, I didn't mean my earlier comments to be blunt, just struggling with character limits on these comments. Keep doing what you're doing. Your honesty is refreshing in this crypto space. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. And it's fine. Blunt comments, it's fine. It's fine. I'm here to converse, and we're all really into this and very passionate. So throw your comments out there. Arjan DeVry says, isn't it better to come with good news during a bull market? Sold VeChain for more Cardano. Big news doesn't do much now. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to come out with bull market news or good bullish news when the time is right, when it's actually feasible, when it's actually planned out. Don't come out with partnerships if they mean nothing. Don't come out with products if they're not complete. When you launch something, launch it. When you launch something, launch it. That's what needs to happen. It has to be. I believe in like scale, like just doing something and doing something fully. I want to revert back to the when we did the New Balance shoe deal. That New Balance shoe deal. It was hyped as, I thought at first it was going to be sort of a worldwide shoe deal, like all of that shoe, the Omnis or the Omnis One shoes were going to have that card. But it turns out that card was only included with shoes at a couple pop-up locations in California. So lots of people ordered the Omnis, but not everyone got that real chain card. So it was a soft product launch. It was like a test launch. And I don't think that I think that when things need to be announced, they need to be announced big. So when you say New Balance partnership, is that true? Is it a New Balance partnership? Does it do anything to the price of ADA? Does it affect the end user? Why would it be launched with only a small percentage of the shoes? If you have a few stores that are launching the Omnis and they include the real chain card, so those are authentic. But what about the ones that are bought in Mississippi, or the ones that are bought in New York, or the ones that are bought overseas, or the ones that are bought in various different New Balance outlet locations around the US or around the world? Are those not authentic? Are those not using the Cardano blockchain? Are those not using real chain? I'm not 100% sure. I'm going on a rant, everyone. True Warrior says, how much do you think ADA will be by the summer? Probably not a lot. Probably not a lot. I don't think bullish market is coming in the foreseeable future, in the very close future. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Ronald Anthony, if you don't already have a Yoroi wallet, yes, create one first. Okay. Hi, Emma. How are you? Cardano MMA says the anti-counterfeiting chip being developed will solve a major problem for high-end retail products while also locking away tokens associated with said products and creating a smaller supply. So yeah, but the counterfeiting chip, it's not in the shoe. It's on that real chain card. It's like the Tangem card. You scan it and then it activates through that app. But the counterfeit doesn't work if only a small percentage of your shoes are have that card. Let me give you an example. Say you have, I don't know, most people are familiar with the Air Jordan shoes. Say you have a limited release of an Air Jordan shoe, and they make 10 of those shoes, and only one of them, it has like a real chain card that's attached to Cardano and verifies the authenticity of that shoe because it was released in, I don't know, a location in maybe Chicago where it was created. So the other 9 shoes are in other places all around the United States. They're authentic shoes too. They don't have the real chain card, so they can't determine authenticity of that shoe, but they're authentic. So only one person gets to say that their shoes are authentic, even though all 10 were created on the same production cycle, the same production run. They were manufactured in the same plant. If it's done for one, it should be done for all within that product line. That's the only way that anti-counterfeiting anti-counterfeiting works. Because what if someone thinks that all the shoes can be proven authentic when they obviously cannot? So that's my issue. Besides that, how's everyone doing? Did everyone have a good weekend? Did everyone have a good weekend? I'd like to also let everyone know that tomorrow we are recording a podcast episode with Tamara Hassan. So it should be a good episode. We're looking forward to it. And we opened up a Reddit thread. So go ahead and populate those questions if you have any questions for Tamara. True Warrior says pretty good weekend. That's great to hear. Great to hear. Great to hear. Sorry for this discombobulated rant today. I'm a little bit tired. Been out all weekend. Just kind of got back, and I had some thoughts that I really had to get off my chest. Make sure I share these thoughts with you. And I appreciate each and every one of you who is delegating to SCAR, delegating to SCAR 2. We're working. Our servers have never gone down, and we're going to make sure that we continuously stay on top of things. We're going to mint our 2000th block pretty soon, and we're very excited about it. DMC says hi from Northern Ireland. How are you doing? Jeff B says, hey guys, had to take a call. Thanks for kicking the bots out. All you newly minted mods. 12th Root says there's a difference between verifying that a product is not counterfeit and proving that a product is not counterfeit. That's true. But if the narrative is that the real chain verifies authenticity and not all the products in a product run have that same verification tool, then the person that doesn't understand that will automatically assume that it's not authentic. With shoe sales, like if you've ever sold shoes, or if you ever know someone that sold shoes, quick story. In college, I did a lot of different. I hustled a lot to make sure that I had some pocket money. And I was in New York. I used to go to a shoe store on 125th and Broadway, and I had like a connection with the guy who worked at that shoe store. I used to go with taxi, pick up a whole bunch of shoes that were all sitting under my bed in my dorm room. Then I would be putting them on Craigslist, and people would be coming in from different boroughs, Staten Island. I would be meeting people in the subway. And for face-to-face, there's a lot of that face-to-face shoe selling, and there's like an underground community of shoe sellers, and they take that very seriously. Like there has to be certain qualifications with, like they have to be in certain condition. The box has to be shaped correctly. You can't have dented boxes. You can't have signs of wear. It has to be immaculate, especially for those highly collectible shoes. Now, in the underground shoe selling community, if they know that there's a shoe that has a real chain card or a authenticity card, that's a shoe that's going to be the one that people want. They're like, even if they can verify the authenticity of another shoe, the one that they want is that limited edition product one. That's the one they want. They're going to view all the other shoes as inauthentic because it's going to be like, where's your card? Where's your card to prove? Like if that became a big thing, that's what I'm saying. Let's see. Falcon Eye Vision says, yes, Phil, great weekend. A bit scary with the bad news virus. Oh yeah, the coronavirus. That's terrible. Terrible. Ronald Anthony, you are creating some great dialogue. Good for us all. Appreciate you, Ronald. OTT2Own says, if Cardano partnered up with one other crypto project, which one would you like to see them team up with and why? You're going to have to ask me that question after smart contracts release, because I still don't understand the exact scope of what Cardano will be able to do when Plutus and Marlowe hit. So ask me that question when that comes out. FCZ said, I'm a whale. You're going to lower the price. Good. Go for it. Now's the time. Stock markets are crashing. Crypto markets are teetering / crashing. Crash it. Hash Beats Cash says hi in Ireland. Canada says hi back. Awesome. How you doing? Oh, you're talking to DMC. Falcon Eye Vision says a bit worried of my portfolio, but holding, I guess. Yeah. It may get rougher. It may get rougher. Dirk says, about to hit us up with some slang day stories. I sold a lot of shoes, and I was hustling in college. I was hustling. Turquoise Olive says, thoughts on what Chico Crypto said about Charles Hoskinson. I don't know what he said about Charles Hoskinson. I watched that first video a while ago. Is there a recent video? So I'm not 100% sure. I don't. Let me let you know. I don't really watch a lot of other crypto YouTubers because it's like information overload. It's like it's a burnout. It's a burnout. In my channel, I like to talk about what I like to talk about but my recommended feed, it's a whole bunch of other videos. Like I try to just keep my head clear. It's a lot better. There's just a lot of nonsense in the crypto sphere. Wade Wilson says, Adritasia will connect Shelly. I'm not sure what that is, to other parts of the network like exchanges and Atala. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that. Look at Adrisia on IOHK GitHub. I'm gonna have to look that up. Wade Wilson, thank you. Dirk Diggler says shoes equals kilos. No, they were shoes. They were shoes. They weren't kilos. No, they weren't kilos. They were shoes. They were shoes. Brew City had no idea there was an underground shoe selling culture and economy. Oh my goodness. Craziest. Like I remember I bought some Kobe's, and this is not, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, and respect to his family. But I bought some limited edition Kobe's probably in like 2012. I had like, I don't know, like I bought probably like 5 or 6 of them because I ran to the store at a place in Harlem that I went to. I had 2 places in Harlem, and I had a connection with the guy who worked there. And all these shoes were under my bed in my dorm. I'd go early in the morning. I'd go with a friend. I had backpacks, I had duffel bags, jump in the taxi, go back down Broadway, get back to my dorm, immediately list them on Craigslist. People would hit me up from like Staten Island, like the bottom of Staten Island, which is kind of a far way to travel from Staten Island all the way up to like kind of like uptown Manhattan. So it's a long subway. You got to take the ferry and everything like that. But I'd be meeting people after work, random times, and I'd buy the shoes maybe for like $150, sell them for $300. And then when I sold my first for $300, I said, I'm going to scalp the price even more to like $500, and, progressively. And I sold all the shoes. So it's like there's a huge underground shoe selling economy. It works. And I mean, if you have a connect at a shoe store, and you're in college, it's a fun little side hustle. Digital Fortress says, watch out for when that Route 9B report comes out. That will indicate an impending Haskell release. Awesome. Arjan DeVry says, amazing how you keep the focus and optimism. Do you think the masses will take Cardano seriously after the mainnet and adoption? It feels like we're building up a huge momentum. Yeah, we are building up a huge momentum. That's one thing I could say about the Cardano community. There are a lot of Cardano community members that are very, very passionate about the project. I speak with a lot of people. A lot of people DM me. A lot of people private message me. And they're very passionate, very passionate. And everyone is very excited about what's next. I text some people. Everyone is very excited about the project. I'm just reading Dirk's comments. I was just selling shoes. No drugs, just shoes. Arjan DeVry says, greetings from Holland, by the way. Greetings. Navari says, tax-free. You better believe it. David says, true, I know a shoe collector. It's rad. Yeah, there's a huge underground shoe collecting community, and they want those shoes. Dirk says IRS wants to know your location. No, this was living money for college. I spent all of it. College is expensive. New York is expensive. You know, I need some pocket change. You have to eat. You have to take the subway sometimes. If you have to go out, it costs a lot of money to live in New York, especially when you're a broke college student. So Tony says, please describe a current or theoretical approach to thwart the capacity of large entities from masquerading as numerous individuals. This seems critical to a decentralized structure. Well, you're not going to stop that. I suggested that you remove the saturation point, but that's never going to happen. Just remove the saturation point and let it be known. Then you know who's the large masquerading individual who's creating that large pool. And then you can do what you please with it. So remove the saturation point. Big Pay says, I'm going to make a video game to get the word out about the Haskell testnet. I think this is really important. We need another testnet on all new code. I apologize for bringing this up over and over. I agree with you. Jared Strong says, how early are we? 1990 internet? Probably. Falcon Eye Vision says, Phil, how old are you? I am 28 years old. Typical Hog says, what is a saturation point? Saturation point is that point within a pool. So say SCAR or IOHK, you go to Pool Tool or any of the websites that help you monitor pool statistics. There's a saturation point, which is basically a point in which the number of delegated ADA cannot increase anymore. Well, it can increase. Let's say the saturation point is 100 million ADA and you have 105 million ADA. There's a max amount of rewards that any pool can generate for its delegates. So any additional ADA will actually diminish the amount of ADA that's given out to, or that's earned by all of the delegators. So the return on staking is going to be proportionately less for each individual person delegating within an oversaturated pool. Right now, I think the saturation point, let me check, is SCAR is not oversaturated, by the way. Let's see. Saturation point should be, give me 1 second. It should be around 119 million ADA. So if a pool has over 119 million ADA, you're getting less rewards proportionately because you're the maximum amount a pool can make is maxed out, basically. This is why I was like kind of railing against saturation point, and I was saying that was antithetical to business models, and it's just leading to things like 1% pools where they create, 36 pools and just kind of flood the network. Right now, you see a lot of pools that are created, but there are a lot of people creating multiple pools. We have 2 pools ourselves. Personally, let's focus on one pool and make it the best and biggest and greatest possible, or the biggest we can make it possible. And let's focus on that. But that's not how they want to run the business. That's not how they're operating. So we just have to roll with the punches. 12th Route 2 says, you don't sound like you were born in New York. Where did you grow up? I was born in Chicago, but I grew up in the South. I just went to school in New York. So just college from 2009 to 2013. Dirk says, would be like Gus from Breaking Bad. People keep on calling me Gus from Breaking Bad. I love Breaking Bad, by the way. Words in the Wilderness says, Cardano is not just an investment you make and observe. It is a community and a cause. Cardano MMA says, how do you see the smart packaging solution coming that Cardano Foundation partnered with at Davos? I see this as a huge deal incoming. I do not know a lot about the smart packaging solution that's coming from the CF. I haven't heard a lot about it. Maybe I need to ask our point of contact at the CF. They do share a lot of news with us. I have not heard that in the news briefs that I've exchanged with the Cardano Foundation representatives I speak with. And the only reason why I speak with Cardano Foundation representatives is because the Cardano Effect is now sponsored by the Cardano Foundation. We used to get sponsored by IOHK, but it transitioned over to the Cardano Foundation. Emma Gator says, can you mention any other projects you're interested in? There are a lot of, I have like 7 projects in my portfolio. I have a few projects that I like a lot. I don't really want to share it right now because people are just brutal in crypto. So sorry, Emma. But if we're on a personal level, like I would probably share it. But on YouTube, people are just like, they're brutal. I don't really want to get into screaming matches with everyone. Typical Hog says that's usually useless other than for the illusion of decentralization, in my opinion. Words in the Wilderness says everyone will just delegate to IOHK. No, not necessarily. I don't think so. Navari says, what's the theory behind saturation points? Why do they exist? Well, I think that the premise of it was that they wanted to prevent this. They wanted to lower the barrier of entry and prevent and allow people to come in with the ecosystem. Like the thought is that all the data would be delegated to the biggest and largest pools, and that would create just bottlenecks everywhere, and you wouldn't have the massive decentralization that IOHK is looking to achieve for Cardano. You wouldn't have their 1,000 pools or 5,000 pools in the future or 10,000 pools. But in reality, right now, what we're looking at is it's there's 1% pool that are operating like 36 pools. So what's the difference? What's the difference? I'm a proponent of business, so create a business model, focus on that one pool, and do your marketing and create opportunities within your pool to satisfy the delegates and take it from there. Falcon Eye Vision, I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. Words in the Wilderness, let us hope we have 7 billion pools. Dirk, I was only in Chicago for 2 years when I was born. So Matthew Anderson says, oh, man. I'm laughing at these comments. Danny says, when Cardano goes live, will the ITN ADA earned cause the ADA price to fall when they are transferred to the mainnet? Well, that depends if people are dumping their earned ADA from the testnet. I anticipate that's probably going to happen. People are probably waiting for that, and they're probably going to dump it. But the testnet will still be continuing, and staking will still happen. So eventually, the price should stabilize at some point. But right now, it's really even hard to tell. Everything's kind of dumping. I wouldn't worry about it right now. I'm not worried about inflation within Cardano. I'm not worried about anything other than the products actually being released, such as some smart contracts and making sure that Shelly is out the door when it's supposed to come out the door. And governance is a complete model when it is released. Arjan DeVries says the Bronx, Brooklyn, Broadway, Harlem, Wall Street, Long Island. There are many more New York place names all over the world thanks to American television shows, films, music, and the dominant. Arjan DeVries, global American culture they're part of. Did you know these places come from the Dutch? Okay, I think there's a conversation going between people. Big Paces, what are the other projects that you like? I'm not today. I had a long weekend. My voice is almost gone. Dirk is just OTT2Own says, are you a gamer? If so, what are a couple of your favorite games? So I wouldn't consider myself a gamer now because I don't have time to game. I haven't gamed in a while. When I lived in Mississippi for a couple of years and I had a PS4, and then I sold the PS4 because I wanted to get some stuff done, be a little bit more productive. I am very productive. Even with the PS4, I'm very productive, but I wanted to be hyper productive. So I don't even have any video. I have a Nintendo Switch, so I have your Super Smash and everything like that. But a couple of my favorite video games, I love Elder Scrolls. Anything that Bethesda creates, I like it. I like RPGs in general. I'm not like a Call of Duty fan or whatsoever, but I did play a lot of Halo back in the day. Halo 2, Zanzibar. I did play a lot of that. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty much what I can think of now. Yeah, yeah. Turquoise Olive says, "Are you in Florida now?" Maybe. I'm not going to. I'm not going to dox my location. Mr. Mont says, "Do you have a realistic price point in my head that you're going to sell at or take profit, or will you continue holding and staking for passive income?" There's a section. I haven't made that decision yet. It depends on what the project, how the project releases its milestones. So if I see that there's a lot of potential within smart contracts and we still have a ways to go and where we haven't hit bull market, there's just a lot of different factors. I do have a price point where I would take some money off the table and maybe reinvest it in other asset classes um, that I can be more productive in. But I haven't, I mean, I have like a paper that I've written it down, but at this point, it's hard to tell because I think eventually it's going to hit its all-time high again, but will that be happen this year? Will that happen at the end of 2021? Will that happen in 2 years? We still don't know. It still may. I think we're just a long ways off from hitting those massive gains. 12 Fruit 2. I'm from the Chicago Burbs. I thought you sounded a little too familiar. Maybe that's why I like your channel so much. I'm not claiming to be from Chicago because I only lived there for 2 years. Hash Beats Cash says saturation prevents centralization. Don Berwick says Metal Gear Solid 1. Typical Hog says, let's do compromise. What are some of the coins you don't hodl at the moment? I don't hodl Tether. I don't hodl Tether. I don't know. I have trouble saying that. Yeah. Or EOS. I don't hodl EOS. I don't hodl IOTA. I don't hodl Ethereum. I do have some ERC 20 tokens. I do have some ERC 20 tokens. Sorry, everyone. It's late, and I've been my weekend. It was a wild weekend. ERC 20 tokens. I do have a couple ERC 20 tokens, so that's good. And yeah, but I don't hold EOS. I don't hold Litecoin. I don't hold Bitcoin. Like I used to, but I just sold it all for alts because I just did the cost analysis. I really don't want to 10x my money. Like I'm really looking for like at least a 50x, maybe close. Maybe if I can pull it off 100x, and then that's good. That's good. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But I don't want a 10x because 10x is not life changing unless you have already a life changing investment in it. If that makes any sense. So, yeah. James Ball, I'm from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been to Hattiesburg quite a few times. I lived in Mississippi for 2 years, lived in Indianola, Mississippi. I don't know if you know where that is. That's in between Greenville and Greenwood, Mississippi. And I've driven through Hattiesburg quite a few times. And yeah, so Typical Hog says, I'm going to say Q3, Q4, 2021, we get the all-time highs. Perhaps. Okay, let me remove this. Phone's listening to me. It's obviously Cardano MMA. It's obviously you hodl BAT though. I mean, you're a content creator. Yeah, I do get some BAT from people watching videos with the Brave browser, which is impressive. And I don't really sell it, but I don't have a lot of BAT. I really don't have a lot of BAT. Don Barrick says, just got done. Yeah, so yeah. I don't know what else I wanted to talk about, but I also wanted to, I think that's Cardano is missing some merch. I think I need to create some merch, but I'm having trouble with this the logo with the Cardano Foundation because they own the rights to the logo. So you can't really manipulate the logo for merch. But I think we need to rep Cardano. I think we need some creative solutions to make sure that you're wearing it out in public. I have like a couple Cardano shirts, but I want something that really pops out, that people would like look at it and they would be like, oh, I want to learn more. Maybe put a QR code so they can scan it, like on your back, so they can scan it while they're in checkout. And they're like, okay, what is this? And then learn something about it. I think that would be cool. Words in the Wilderness says, do you mind federated coins like Libra or Hedera, Hashgraph, XRP, Stellar? Yeah, I mean, I think there's use for all coins. I mean, different coins have different use cases, and federated coins, there's pros and cons to everything. I don't know a lot about Hedera Hashgraph, to tell you the truth. I know quite a lot about XRP. Don't know a lot about Stellar. Vincerio says, I have all in ADA. My instinct says so. Had BTC before, but I made the decision to invest in ADA when it is all-time low. 50% of crypto portfolios in ADA and hedging with the S&P 500. Okay. No, just in New York, 12th root. Mr. T says, so I got the wallet to transfer to Yoroi. How do I transfer the testnet rewards? So you have a rewards wallet. So you should be able to. I haven't made that transfer from Daedalus to Yoroi. So I don't want to give you incorrect instructions. And there may be a YouTube video out there to help you out. And I think that Emergo probably released some sort of tutorial about that. So I would want you to go and check with them exactly what steps you need to do, because I have not migrated a Daedalus wallet from a Daedalus testnet wallet from Daedalus testnet to Yoroi testnet. Navari says, do you do these live stream often? If not, do you plan on it? It's pretty informative. I should do it more. You know, when I find the time, I should do it more. I don't do it often, though. Matthew Anderson says, right now, crypto is extremely correlated to stocks with an R-squared score of 0.965, super high. If they continue to go down, crypto will too, and 2021 might be extended to 2022. Perhaps. Did you do a statistical analysis to get your R-squared value? And how did you do that? What data points did you use? I would be interested to hear. No more signs of a coming bull cycle? Oh, I don't know. I don't think there's a bull cycle coming. Andrew Todd says, you were probably one of the little kids kicking my ass in Zanzibar in Halo. The rocket launcher energy sword combo was lethal before they patched the bug. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Dual wield your plasma pistols as well. Stank Miles Charlie says, are we still in testnet phase? It's been gone a while. Yeah, we're still in testnet phase. It's going to be a little bit of time before we hit mainnet. It will be. Maybe a few months. I don't know. I prefer that they take their time. I'm not really too worried about it. How my worry level about my portfolio right now, it's really, I'm trying not to even look at Blockfolio. Just come back to it in like 3 months. Just make sure I'm staying ahead of the news and making sure that I'm reading as much as I can. But other than that, I'm not too worried about the price right now. And testnet, go as long as you need in order to create the best possible version of the testnet. Sandra Studio says the rewards carry over. Okay. David says, install 2.2.0 ITN. It's still not connecting yet. May try Yoroi next week. Okay. I would also open up a support ticket. Just send them a few lines saying, hi, my name is David. I'm having this and this issue. I downloaded the latest version of Daedalus incentivized testnet, and I still cannot access my funds. Please advise, send. And they should get back to you. What happened to your forearm? Did you get an? Oh, no. My dog scratched me up. His nails were really long and I was bleeding. So just wrapped it up a little bit. Got some pretty nasty scratch marks on my forearm. Cardano MMA says, too many people know about the BTC halving cycle. stuff now. Only true use cases are the hope, but it's looking hopeful. Andrew Todd says you can convert all of your BAT straight to ADA now and Uphold. So I keep my publisher rewards as ADA because I think it has greater growth potential. I heard something about Uphold also sending financial documents for the like-kind exchanges because I'm doing my crypto taxes and making sure that that information is conveyed to my CPA. And then I'm hearing that people are getting financial documents from Uphold. I don't want another financial document. I don't know if they're going to automatically hit you with that like-kind exchange, but yeah, go for it. Go for it. Find the coins that you feel like are going to give you the greatest potential value and go for it. Make your money. We're all in here to make money and at the end of the day, be part of something new, but go make your money. Dirk is just OTT2 says, I'm a big Halo fan too, by the way. I've been on Halo 1 since Xbox. Halo Infinite is going to bring Halo back to the top of first-person shooter games. Halo revolutionized online console gaming. The Reclaimer will take his throne back. Yeah, I might have to buy that new Xbox coming out when it comes out. But I have to make sure, if it's a bull market, the new Xbox will definitely get purchased. If not, then I'm going to have to wait up because right now I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. So I try not to waste as much. I try to waste the least amount of time as possible working on my work and making sure I get what I need to get done. 12th Root 2 says, can we send ADA rewards to our real ADA wallets now before testnet ends? No. It's not going to be realized until we hit mainnet. So once we hit mainnet, you'll have the instructions that you need in order. It's going to come over back to your mainnet wallet, but you do not send your rewards wallet right now. Right now, there's mainnet ADA, there's testnet ADA, and there's rewards ADA. So we can call them R ADA, T ADA, and M ADA. All three of them are separate entities. They all exist in separate universes. So you're not sending R ADA to T ADA or R ADA to M ADA or M ADA to T ADA or M ADA to R ADA. They exist in separate entities. Turquoise Olive says, I'm going to call you Phil PA 2 times. Okay. Just like Gucci. Dirk Diggler says taxes. Yeah, I don't want to give any financial advice for taxes at all. So you do what you need to do. I have a CPA, handles my taxes. I just make sure that I do what I need to do. And I know that eventually just pay your taxes, because if your number gets chosen, it's not fun. Vincerio says, will the reward of return on stake remain even during the testnet, or will it reduce over time? Is that good? It's going to reduce over time. Right now, the epoch period is like a day. Over the mainnet, it's going to be like 3 to 5 days. I don't know exactly how long. They said 5 days in the paper, but they may reduce it or they may extend it. So the rewards on staking are going to go down over time. I say the smaller the rewards, the better. The smaller the rewards, the better, because higher rewards means less people are using the protocol. So the rewards are directly proportional to the number of people that are staking. So let's go through a quick scenario. Let's say we have 100 ADA, and during the incentivized testnet, the rewards on stake is 10%. So you'd get 10 ADA, and you'd have 110 ADA. Now, let's say, and the price of ADA, let's say, is $1. We're just going to keep it at $1 just so it's easy for me to do the math right now in front of you, just ad-libbing it. So now you have $110. So we have that same $100, and let's say that the percentage is 3% during the mainnet staking. So you'd have 103 ADA or $103. You'd have less money, but it would also mean that more people are staking. So that would be more ADAs actually locked up, and there's a smaller amount of ADA to trade, sell, buy. And that's also ultimately going to push the price of ADA upwards or forward. So when we're looking at a $1 ADA, it may be a $2 ADA. So all of a sudden that $103 becomes it's $2, so it would be $206. So I would much rather have the lowest possible rewards, meaning that the most number of people are staking, meaning that the price of the actual native asset is increasing. It's most advantageous to everyone here that the price of the actual token increases rather than the reward on staking percentage. Vincencio says, thinking of holding ADA for life and living on return on stake. Awesome. David Geflin says, KYC for BAT, no thanks. Duke Max says, do we need to update the wallets? I haven't looked in a while. Yes, you will need to. I think an update recently came out. Mr. T says, does anyone know how to get rewards you receive from Daedalus to transfer over to Yoroi? Apparently, it will automatically transfer over. Sean White says, do you think 500,000 ADA will be enough to live off the staking rewards in 3 years, assuming you live in the United States? I don't know, Sean. It all depends on your lifestyle, I mean, it depends if you live in San Francisco. It depends if you live in New York, or it depends if you live somewhere in a inexpensive place in the South. So, one place could be life-changing. Other place, you could just be getting by. 12th Root 2 says, will the rewards percentages on mainnet be the same as the testnet now if the same amount of ADA is staked on mainnet? No. Wade Wilson says, I would rather have less ADA at a higher value in euro than more ADA worth less euro. Agreed. Diesel Hound says 1 million plus ADA. Phil, are you Leo? I don't know my astrological sign. I'm sorry. I have no idea. I know of astrological signs, but I don't know. Sorry. Mr. T says, okay, I have my original balance in Yoroi. Do I just delegate again and rewards will show up? Yeah. I would say just go for it. Just start redelegating in Yoroi to a pool and then just wait the end of the epoch and your rewards should show up. But as far as your rewards from Daedalus, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't had that migration switch. So hopefully maybe Hash Beats Cash can help you out there. Can help you out. Sandra Studio says the delegation will also carry over. Wonderful. Wonderful to hear. Danny Parazu says, have you hung out with Charles? So I've only seen Charles twice in my life. One time was in Edinburgh. So when we went to Plutus Fest, Rick and I met him. And then I saw him at the IOHK Summit in Miami. But have I hung out with him? No, I have not. But I've seen him. I've met him. And he's a very nice guy. Vincerio says 1% has many pools. Is it going to affect our decentralization? I don't know. It depends how you look at decentralization. I've had people argue that it's not affecting decentralization, but if someone's opening up 26, 36 pools, one person, and you don't even know how many pools that person could even end up owning because there's so much anonymity with crypto operators, stake pool operators, you only know a handful of them. You know Rick, you know myself, you know a few of the stake pool operators that showed up on the stake pool operators YouTube episode. You may know a couple from Telegram or on Twitter, but a majority of them, you have no idea who they are, their faces, nothing. You don't know anything about them. So assuming that we don't know anything about them, we could also assume that there could be one actor doing so many different things. We know for sure that 1% pool owns like over 20 pools between 26 and 36. So it, take that as you like. Sandra Studio says, you can also see that you are getting compound staking on Yoroi. Words in the Wilderness, is your birthday between November and December? No. Are you still doing the Cardano Effect podcast, Turquoise Olive? Yes, of course. We are on episode 70. We're going to be on episode 77 now. So let me check which episode we're going to be filming tomorrow. Which number? Yes, I am still on the Cardano Effect podcast. It's Rick and myself on the podcast. It's our podcast. We're on 78 now. So we've done 77 episodes, and there's a lot to learn on that channel. One thing about the Cardano effect, I can tell you, and one thing that's a positive about the Cardano effect and Cardano is that what other project could you actually create 77 full-length podcast episodes of? And do you realize how many guests we have on the Cardano Effect podcast? I realize that Rick and I do our live streams, but even during the live streams, we're talking about new things that happen within the community. But if you look at all the guests, we cap them at like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We could probably go on for a few hours talking about the work that they do, but they have to get back to work and they don't want to be spending time with us for 3-4 hours. So we try to make it as succinct as possible. How many other crypto projects do you think would have the volume of information to even talk about their project for that many episodes? There's not a lot out there. Just a few, maybe. Just a few. Rick says 78. 78. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Wayne Morgan says, is Marlowe dead for smart contracts? I did the first course on Udemy and have seen no developments since then. Apparently it's being worked on, but I have not heard any of developments. But Plutus and Marlowe are supposed to be the programming languages that are written in Haskell that are released when smart contracts release. Jared Strong says, do you plan to sell any ADA at the top of the next bull run and buy back in at the bottom of the bear market? I do plan to sell some crypto at the top of the next bull run. I don't know if it's going to be ADA. I don't know if it's going to be other holdings. I haven't decided that yet, but I'm definitely going to take some off the table and go do some other things. Danny says, I am pleased with my ROI with SCAR. Appreciate that, Danny. Appreciate that. And thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. Turquoise Olive, no, I'm sorry. I can't, my birthday is in between January and December, sometime in between there. This is the internet. I'm not going to be doxing myself. It's sometime between January and December. It might be January. It might have been this weekend. You never know. I mean, I did go to Orlando this weekend. Bruce City says, would be funny if Warren Buffett was one of the whales running the 20 Cardano staking pools. No. I saw the Anthony Pomp interview, and he said that Warren Buffett uses a flip phone. So I don't think he's going to be able to. I don't think he's going to be able to use Jormungandr or run a pool. Big Pay says, I would love to come on to the podcast if you're ever looking for new people. I have my own pool channel as well. Well, you need to join our Telegram chat. We do stake pool operator episodes. And if you are a stake pool operator, there is a stake pool operator channel that Rick and I have opened up. And we set a time for our stake pool operator episodes. And anyone is free to come and talk about your stake pool, talk with the other operators. And it's a really good place for people to advertise their pools because it has a lot of visibility. There are a lot of viewers that view it on YouTube. But in addition, we're also syndicated on almost every major audio streaming platform. And you'd be surprised by the number of people that are just downloading our audio version and listening to it at the gym, on a car ride, wherever they may be listening to. It's a great way to get your name, your maybe your face out there, and it's a good pool promotion. So, it's not like we're taking applications to get on the Cardano Effect stake pool operator episode. We just open it up and come and have a conversation. Come and meet. We're all friendly. We're all very friendly. I'm telling you. So come and join us. Mr. T says, do I redelegate in Yoroi? Now I may just transfer the balance back to Daedalus. Maybe they show up next epoch. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. Rick says, Marlowe is still being updated and has a full-blown playground to test on. Awesome. Glad to hear that. OTT2Own says, when ADA hits $1 again, will you get a Cardano tattoo like me? If so, then what will you do if we hit $5 ADA in a few years? No, I don't think I'm getting a Cardano tattoo. No. But I'll watch you get a Cardano tattoo. I'll watch you get a Cardano tattoo, and then we'll put it on the Cardano Effect podcast. Rick is not here, so I can't say that. Well, Rick is in the comments, but if not, we'll put it on this channel. We'll do a live stream of that. A live stream. Sandra Studio says the balance is both wallets at the same time. Okay. So there's obviously a lot of people that migrated from Daedalus to Yoroi because they're having Daedalus issues. So they're moving they're moving their delegation process over to Yoroi. And I believe in the comments it's saying that there's no issue with balances. They end up matching and they show the same balance. So you just have to be patient. Vincencio says, if we are pegged with BTC and ADA hits $5 during a bull run and returns to $1 or retains if we split for BTC, number is just for representation. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to be pegged for BTC for a while, pegged to BTC for a while because there's no utility. And what better to be pegged against? I mean, BTC has no utility. Cardano right now doesn't have utility. Like there's no utility for a lot of these crypto projects. So we should be pegged to something with no utility until we have those smart contracts, until we have governance, until we have Shelly on mainnet, then maybe we can walk our own line. OTT2 own says we'll do it. LOL. Okay. Sounds good. Words in the wilderness. Nothing wrong with running multiple pools. Everyone who is competitive should be free to run multiple pools. Not all the pools will attract stake, and more pools is meant to improve throughput. I never said there was anything wrong with running multiple pools. We run two, so obviously there's nothing wrong. I mean, we're doing it. I would prefer for one entity to focus on one pool instead of multiple pools. There's a thing called horizontal versus vertical distribution. And, sometimes I think that's like, if you look at like certain companies, they maintain like brand solidarity, and then they just use that brand to expand their business and create a business model behind that brand, instead of focusing on multiple different brands. Even if a company like Apple has so many different subsidiaries, you don't see like Apple stays in their own lane promoting their phones, and all their subsidiary companies, they can leverage Apple's connections, but they can also sell their own products and services. So using that business model or using that business logic, I would say that one person should focus on one pool and expanding that pool in the biggest and best way they know how, and create, a sustainable business behind it, and focus on that one pool instead of spamming the network and creating all of these other pools that don't necessarily represent the same. Like I'm having trouble properly expressing it, but I'm just a fan of just creating your product and then building it out from there, instead of just kind of like trying to spam it and go that route. But to each his own, and you're allowed to do it, so go for it. Open up 100 pools if you can. Words in the wilderness is the aim is to distribute the stake as much as possible. Yes. Diesel Hound is, but I don't know if it does that. Just a quick follow-up. I'm seeing some comments about the pool delegation for Yoroi. So it does not show the pool I was delegated to or the rewards. That what my concern is. And if you restore the wallet with your 15-word seed phrase, it should show that show your pools that were delegated to in Daedalus. Okay, does your Daedalus sync right now? Are you able? So there's some help going on right now with exactly how to redelegate within Yoroi using your seed phrase. So thank you, Mr. T, for helping everyone out. Appreciate it. My goodness, this podcast is going for 2 hours. It's crazy. That is crazy. But do we have any old timers in here? Like old old timer, not people, old timers in crypto, like people that have been in here in crypto since like, I don't know, prior to 2015? Or is it all like 2017-ish, 2016-ish? Or I'm just trying to ask questions and engage the audience. Engage the audience. Okay, I guess no one. I guess no one. Okay. I think Danny Power Zoo says 2015 is when I first heard of crypto. John W says mid 2017. Okay. Bruce City says 2019, I think. Okay. Okay. I Bruce City, that's a good year to get in. 2019. Avoid the flash crashes. Well, you still experience the flash crashes, but Words in the Wilderness, I've had interest from 2009, but no investment, unfortunately. Cardano MMA, what was your question? I said, are there any old timers in here that have been in crypto since before 2015? Danny Dodge, 2014. Okay, so you are a veteran. You are a veteran. So Danny Dodge, what brought you? I'm assuming that you were Bitcoin back in 2014. What brought you to the Cardano project? Interested to hear, because you have probably seen more than a majority of the people in this chat, including myself, because I got in probably Q2 of 2017. So before that manic bull run, but still kind of after the Ethereum like kind of popped a little bit. Danny Parazu says, a friend wanted me to start mining BTC with them. I looked at him like he had two heads. All right. Jack Gordon Smith, I am an old time and heard of Bitcoin in March of 2009. All right. All right. That's awesome. That is awesome. All the old timers, let me know how you got to a Cardano. I'm interested to hear. Danny Dodge says, Andreas Antonopoulos at first to crypto, then I was looking for quality. Okay. Omnipotent Being 2016. Big Pay says, what's the Telegram for the Stake Pool podcast? I will definitely come out and chat. It is let's see. I don't let me get the exact name. Hold on. Just type in Stake Pool podcast. It should be just Stake Pool podcast on Telegram. Find me on Telegram. Send me a private message. My username on Telegram is PhilPA6, I believe. I mean, it should have a picture of me. And then send me a private message. I'll send you an invite. Or find me on Twitter. I'll send you an invite. Omnipotent Being says, I found Cardano with your channel and Crypto Crow. Okay. Vincerio says, I came in when I looked out for quality alt projects. I found this Cardano space is systemic. Okay, like systematic. Okay. Scientific approach. Big Pay, I'm in. Thanks. Awesome. Danny Dodge says, Cardano represents such a massive undertaking and is all-encompassing. I love the ambition and the scientific approach. Good to hear. So Danny Dodge is a veteran, so that's good to hear. Vincerio says, I like all the use cases as well. They're well thought out. Okay. Jack Gordon Smith says, problem was I am over 70 and a technophobe. I couldn't work out how to buy BTC when it was 8 cents. Oh my goodness. Andrew Todd says, I was a miner from 2013. Then mining rigs got a bit silly, so I lost interest. It was hard to justify upgrading the electrics in my house to keep going. David Gelfin says, saw a video where a mathematician and computer scientist actually explained math, so got interested. Okay. Oh, awesome. Great. Thanks for sharing, everyone. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This is a long live stream. This is a long live stream. I appreciate it. So I think this I'm wondering what this month is going to be like for Cardano. I know that we have a couple Cardano podcast episodes already slated with some guests. We're filming one with tomorrow, and we have a couple of podcast episodes that may or may not appeal to some of you or all of you or whoever. Check out the Cardano Effect channel. It's going to be set up. The wonderful thing about getting sponsored by the Cardano Foundation is that like we kind of have a direct line of communication, and we are more privy to what they're doing. Like we're more privy to what they're doing. It's not like we have insider information, not at all. But if there's going to be like a press release in like a week, we may have a little bit of early access just in case we may want to feature it on our show. So it's going to be fun moving forward with the Cardano Foundation. Vincerio says, in ITN, I am late to start my pool. In mainnet, will it be the case? No. I mean, you could start a pool whenever. There's no lateness. I mean, the only problem with like being late right now to the ITN is because people have had issues actually logging into their wallets. So some people have been trapped in a pool since the beginning, and they may not want to be in the pool. So, but if when things get more fluid, especially when we hit mainnet, I think you're going to be able to switch in and out more and more successfully. It's going to be more fluid. So, Danny Parazu said, my first alt was Ethereum, and that led me to ADA. Words in the Wilderness says, I put a little on ADA and then watched the Charles Hoskinson whiteboard video and then his goals for Africa video. Yeah, Charles Hoskinson's whiteboard video was probably drew a lot of people into the Cardano project. Because one thing you could say about Charles, he speaks well, and he knows how to sell he knows how to sell it, and it's good. It's good. I mean, he's a big picture guy, and if that picture works out, Cardano becomes revolutionary. Andrew Todd says, I regained interest when all that BTC I mined and sold earlier years suddenly went 10x overnight in 2017. We learned from my mistakes, and I got into ADA a day or two after it went live on Bittrex. Okay. Got you. Yeah. The key is to like hold for some period of time in cryptocurrency, which is unfortunate because it's just like, I don't know. I don't know if it's unfortunate. I'll take that back. But I'm the people that have built like successful cryptocurrencies, I kind of like put them higher on the pedestal as far as just like in comparison to old BTC like maximalists that had got rich maybe by being lucky or by investing a small amount of money back when it was 8 cents, and then now they all of a sudden they have all this expertise just because the price is high. So it's some sort of confirmation bias. But if you actually built a cryptocurrency or kind of created a business model, I mean, Charles building IOHK and building out the Cardano project, even though we haven't hit the goals that we were supposed to hit, is still very impressive. Very impressive. FCV says, I'm lowering ADA price to, that's under ICO price. Oh, awesome. I think some people will probably scoop it up. So interesting. Awesome. Guys and girls, I think I'm going to call it a night. I've got to get some rest. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone delegating to Scar and Scar 2. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. I'm very approachable. I'm everywhere, and I appreciate the support. Sorry I ranted today. It might not have been extremely cohesive, and I'm a little bit out there. I had a long weekend in Orlando. I went to a wedding for all of those who missed that, and I had time of my life. So tomorrow we record the Cardano Effect podcast episode. So make sure you tune into it later in the week, or I think it may release following week. But either way, we're filming tomorrow, so hopefully we can do this again. Hopefully I helped some people out. Hopefully the chat helped people out. Thank you all the people, including Mr. T, that was helping everyone migrate their wallets or giving them advice on how to migrate their wallets within Daedalus or Yoroi. Keep on sending those support tickets. Don't give up. Still bullish on Cardano. Cardano to the moon. Mud to the moon. And we're going to Andromeda. If we hit that revolutionary phase, this is a great project to be part of, and we can critique this project and still want the best for this project. So have a wonderful night, and good night, everyone. Good night. Have a wonderful week as well.